actually, for turning in examples like this, if you want to send them to me as turning in your homework, I would say you can send it to me as an email by going under File. Once you save it, if you're an illustrator like I am, you go under File, Save As, and save it as an Illustrator file. Or what you can do, and when you're done with that, I would save it not necessarily as an Illustrator file, but as a JPEG. It'll be a lot smaller, and you'll be able to email it to me. So if you go underneath File, Save for Web and Device, once you save under File, Save for Web and Device, I know the window's a little small here. In the upper right corner of this option, you'll see there's a JPEG option. So save it as a JPEG. Anywhere you want on your computer, and then send it as an attachment to me in an email by sending an attachment. Hopefully you understand how to send an attachment through an email, and then just like you would a Word document or something like that, and then I'll be able to see it.